how's Mom doing? You visited today, yeah? Is she okay?
She seemed to be doing okay. I think she's just gonna need a little bit more time. She was looking a bit more cheerful today at least, so that's good. But I think she might be acting strong, so we don't worry about her too much.
You thought so too? When I called her today, she seemed okay, but I got the feeling that she was just putting on a brave face.
I guess we can't expect much. It's only been a week since Dad's funeral. We have to give her some time and space to grieve. Let's not push her too hard. All we can do is support her right now.
I guess you're right, yeah. I still can't believe it, you know? He was perfectly healthy just a couple months ago. To think he went downhill so quickly? I mean, he was laughing and running around like he was still in his 40s just last Christmas. Before we even knew it, he was in the hospital.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It still feels unreal somehow. Like he's supposed to come home from the hospital any day now.
Same here, honestly.
Like, my brain understands that he's no longer here with us, but I still instinctively take out my phone to text him and stuff. What about you?
Yeah, I get the same feeling as you sometimes. I'm worried about Mom, though. She's known him so much longer than we have. We have our partners and kids, but she's completely alone now.
I'm also worried. Like, if I could visit every day, I really would. But with all my work and the kids, it's really not feasible. No, we really should make more time, especially now. She needs our support now more than ever. She's been helping us out our entire lives. The least we can do is stand by her when she needs it. I'll ask my husband to look after the kids for a bit after work so I can go see her more.
I feel you. But don't you think you're putting too much pressure on yourself to help her out? Your heart is in the right place, but won't this backfire with you trying to balance too many things like this? All I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't push yourself too hard for her sake.
I guess. But this is still Mom we're talking about. It's not much easier for you to visit, is it now? Since you live like 2 hours away from her. If I don't visit her, then who will?
Yeah, you're not entirely wrong, but I've been thinking actually, I have a compromise that'll help everybody involved.
You do? What kind of compromise?
Well, what if I just moved in with Mom instead? Then you don't have to sacrifice spending time with your family so much, and I don't have to travel to see her. Not bad, huh?
You're going to live with her? What about your husband? What's going to happen to him? He can't move in with you. He'd have to commute like 2 hours every morning. You're not going to live apart, are you?
Don't be silly. He'll just quit his job and come live with me and Mom. I'm sure he'll find a new job in no time. Can't be that hard.
Are you sure? Didn't he struggle a lot to get his current job? He's barely been working there for a year. Now you want him to quit and move in with Mom? That's asking a lot. You know that.
Trevor's actually told me he's tired of the place he works at right now. He was already thinking of getting another job. That's why I'm saying it's convenient for everyone.
Are you sure? Have you talked to him about this? Does he agree with moving in with Mom?
Oh, yeah, he was all for it. I mean, you know how much I suck at cooking. At least I'll finally be able to eat some proper food now, is what he told me.
Sam, don't go forcing Mom to make you guys food. You should still be helping Mom out around the house instead. Living together isn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows, you know? You might end up messing up her rhythm if you two move in there. Be a bit more considerate of how she might feel about the whole thing.
Oh, stop worrying so much. It'll be fine. Me and Trevor don't mind living with someone else.
Yeah, but Mom certainly would mind. Have you thought about that? You know, she's the kind of person that goes out of her way to accommodate people. She's not good at saying no to pushy people.
But I'm not pushy. Plus, I'm her own daughter. Surely she won't mind.
Maybe, but Trevor isn't. He's only seen her like 2 or 3 times after you guys got married, and one of those times was at the funeral. I don't think she'll feel comfortable living with him. If I was in Mom's shoes right now, I'd feel a bit uncomfortable about this.
Well, it depends on whether or not she's okay with it, right? She's free to say no, of course.
I suppose.
In fact, today when I called her, she seemed fairly enthusiastic about my idea.
Wait, so you already discussed things with her, and she's fine with it?
Well, we didn't exactly discuss all of the details. I mainly just grazed over the whole proposal, but yeah, she seemed keen on it. Like, she said she can't stay sad about losing Dad forever, and that she thinks she might need a change in her life. So I took it that she was fine with my idea.
She might have thought you were joking, honestly. Are you really sure she said she was fine with it?
She's clearly depressed being alone at home. I'm sure she'll love having her daughter and son-in-law around. Don't worry about it.
I guess. I'm not really in the position to say anything at the end of the day. This is between you and Mom.
That's right. I'll be sure to talk things through with her before we decide to move in. You sure you didn't think about moving in as well?
No, I suppose I hadn't really thought about it. It would be really hard on my husband and the kids after all. I suppose we could try to find a house in the neighborhood so we could live closer, but the housing market is looking pretty rough right now. I don't think we could afford it.
Why bother when she's living alone in a pretty big house? I'm sure you and your family could all fit in there. I guess it's gonna take a bit to get used to, but we'll manage. You'll see, Mom's gonna love it. I honestly think you're more concerned for other people than Mom is.
Well, if anything, you don't seem to care enough about how people might feel, but that's just my opinion.
I like to think I'm just taking initiative and helping Mom feel less lonely.
You're really concerned about her, huh? Compared to when you were younger, you really matured a lot.
Of course I have. I'm already in my 30s after all.
I mean, you and Mom were still fighting like cats not too long ago.
Not too long ago? That was years ago, sis. I'm not the same person from back then. I know I was kind of immature back then.
Yeah, I guess you grew out of your rebel phase once you married Trevor and settled down.
Something like that. Anyways, you can leave this to me. I'll make sure Mom isn't lonely, I promise.
Hey Sammy, how's Mom doing? You guys finally moved in, right? How's the co-living going?
You bet! We're all getting along nicely, no complaints so far. Mom seems happier than ever. She's been making us delicious meals every day.
Sam, what did I tell you about forcing her to make you guys food? You should at least offer to help her out with the cooking and cleaning and stuff, come on.
I know, but don't you think it's better for her mental health if we keep her busy? You know, instead of her leaving her to her own thoughts. They say the best thing for someone who's grieving is to keep them busy.
Maybe, but making her do all the housework shouldn't be the way to go about it.
I almost forgot. I wanted to ask you about Dad's will. Have you figured out what everyone is inheriting?
Don't you think it's still a bit early?
It's been more than a month. We should really discuss this with the rest of the family already.
Yeah, I guess. But Dad also has siblings that I'm sure he left things to. I feel like it would be rude to get involved too early. I don't want us to look like money-grubbing children when our dad just passed away.
What? Like Aunt Linda, for example?
I wasn't specifically talking about her, no. I'm just saying there are other people that probably should be allowed to look over the will and figure out what they were left.
Yeah, but I really hate that crazy old crow. Something about her makes my skin crawl. I don't know. She's really nasty and she's always cranky. I never got along with her. Didn't she used to yell at you so much when you were little that you cried?
Yeah, okay. She's not exactly my fondest aunt. I mean, I finished all my homework and I wanted to go outside and play with my friends, but she would yell at me saying I'd end up an idiot if I didn't focus on my schoolwork. I can't exactly handle her either.
And yet, she's one of the people going after his inheritance? Who does she think she is? Honestly, she can go walk in front of a bus for all I care, don't you think?
Walk in front of a bus? That's a bit harsh, Sam. I'll admit she was pretty strict with us and she had a few issues later in life, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that.
Whatever, she was the worst. She doesn't deserve any of Dad's inheritance.
Well, I heard she helped Dad out a lot when he was struggling. I think she had a soft spot for him. Plus, if he left her anything in the will, she has every right to it. She's still family at the end of the day.
Either way, I don't want anything to do with her.
I'm just saying we don't know what history Dad and Aunt Linda had.
But what about Mom? Is she gonna be okay? Linda can be pretty pushy sometimes. She might force Mom to give up things just because she doesn't want to deal with any conflict. If you're not gonna do anything about it, I'll just have to step in it and protect our family's fair share.
I mean, I'd prefer if we didn't end up causing any unnecessary conflict in the family. Just keep things civil, please. I don't want to get wrapped up in any family drama. If you guys have any disagreements, solve it civilly and by the law, you know?
You're sounding more and more like Mom. Yeah, I got it. You don't have to lecture me.
Sorry, I gotta get back to work soon. I'll talk to you again later. Take care of Mom for me, will you? Help her out around the house a bit, please? Oh, and if there's anything you want to talk about with the co-living and stuff, just let me know.
Sure, I will. Now get back to work. Bye.
Sam, what the hell did you do?
So I was right. Mom did end up going over there to you. I figured you'd be the first person she'd turn to. Well, I suppose you're the only person she can go to.
What do you mean you figured she'd come here? Sam, explain yourself. Is what Mom told me true? Did you seriously tell her that she's a nuisance and an old prune? She's telling me you kicked her out of her own home.
Well, maybe I went a bit far, but she was really starting to become a nuisance, okay? I didn't want to kick her out, but she just wouldn't stop complaining. We can't live under the same roof if everyone's gonna be fighting the whole time.
What? Sam, are you even hearing yourself right now?
She wouldn't stop trying to interfere with our lives. What else was I supposed to do?
Not kicking her out of her own home would have been a start.
She's the one that started arguing with us. We came to live there for her sake, and then she goes and complains about it the whole time.
She told me that Trevor still hasn't gotten a new job yet since you two moved there. I know it's hard to find a job so soon, but apparently he hasn't even been trying to look for work.
That's none of our business. Besides, he was working so hard at his previous job, he deserves a short break at least.
That might be true, but you guys shouldn't be taking a break if you don't have any money to support yourselves in the meantime. Mom says you even refused to pay for your living expenses. How is she supposed to support you two when she's retired? Of course she's going to complain about that.
We uprooted our entire lives to go live with her and to keep her company. Why should we have to pay to stay here as well? What kind of person would willingly co-live with some cranky old woman, honestly? She ought to be paying us for living here as thanks.
But, Sam, it was your idea to go live there in the first place. Mom never asked you to stay there with her. If anything, you forced your way in there despite Mom not being on board at first.
If she didn't want us to live here, then she should have said no. Simple as that. But she didn't, so I don't see any problem. You two can't go blaming us for this now. She agreed to us staying here.
Sam, this is some Olympic-level mental gymnastics you're pulling here. How do you think any of this makes sense?
Wait, hold on. I've got a great idea. How about this? You can have Mom, and me and Trevor got the house. That way she doesn't have to deal with us, and I'll finally get my fair share of the inheritance.
What? You can't just trade Mom for the house.
Well, neither of us got much after everything in Dad's will was sorted out. I mean, we're his daughters after all. We should have gotten a house at least. In a sense, Dad not only left the house, but also Mom, right? So, it only makes sense that we split those two things between us. And since Mom clearly doesn't get along with me and Trevor, I think I'll just hand her over to you. I'm just being considerate.
Wow, you're so considerate. You know what, Sam?
What?
Take the house. I'd be honored if Mom decided to stay here.
Honored, huh? Sure, whatever you say. Funny, I could have sworn you said you didn't want to go live with Mom at first.
I'd be much happier having Mom around than I would be inheriting a house. Take it. I have no use for the place. To be frank, I can't even imagine comparing her to the house.
Well, she was giving us hell, so if that's your kind of thing, then I'd happily take the house off you. It's pretty spacious. I bet I could get quite a lot for it if I sold it right now. Like you said, the housing market is brutal if you're looking to buy right now. But at the same time, that means I can sell it for a fortune.
Whatever. I don't want any part of this.
That settles it then. Tell Mom I want her to transfer ownership to me as soon as possible. I guess we'll see what happens to the place once we get it evaluated and everything.
What do you mean?
Well, if we can sell it for a lot, we'll obviously put it up for sale right then and there. Once we got the money for it, me and Trevor can take some time off and finally go traveling together. We might even retire early at that point and get one of those luxurious motorhomes and travel all over the country. Ew! Or we might get one of those golden visas and move overseas, to one of those countries with a weak currency. Then we'll practically be millionaires compared to the other people.
Whatever you end up doing with the place, it's none of my concern. I don't want anything to do with this scheme of yours, okay? Don't come crying to me if this ends up blowing up in your face.
Like I care. It's not like you're getting any of the money either way. Once I sell this place, I'm not giving you a cent, even if you beg me. So don't go whining afterwards saying that you wanted the house instead. Emma! Why didn't you tell me Aunt Linda was gonna move into Mom's house?
Oh, wow, that's pretty rough. My condolences.
Don't sass me. I'm being serious right now. Did you put her onto this? She's saying the house belongs to her. What is she on about? She's lying, right?
Oh, is she now? Good for her, honestly.
Emma, this isn't good. Not even a little bit. You know how much I hate her.
Not my problem. Why should I care?
She can't just waltz in here and demand that I give her everything. Just do something. Tell her to leave or something.
Well, she does technically own half of the house, in a way. So I guess she can waltz all she wants over there.
What? What do you mean? How can she own the place?
I guess you don't know about this, but Aunt Linda actually owns the land that Mom and Dad's house is built on. Even though Dad built the house, she owns the land.
Nobody ever told me this.
Yeah, she was pretty loaded back in the day. After Mom and Dad got married, she leased him the land so he could build their house there. You know how Dad didn't end up leaving much behind?
Yeah? What about it?
If I had to guess, it's probably because he left quite a bit to his sister for leasing the land to him and such. Even Mom didn't really get much after he passed. I assume he left her something else to compensate for the house. In all likelihood, you're sitting on Aunt Linda's inheritance.
But she doesn't own the house. Dad built it, right?
Well, yeah, but he didn't have much money at the time. If I remember correctly, she also lent Dad money to build the house, so she pretty much owns the whole place. Aunt Linda showed up at our house a few days ago with the debt collection letter and the agreement she and Dad signed. She demanded that we hand over the house.
But she didn't say anything when we were all discussing everything about Dad's will. Why didn't she bring it up then?
I'm not sure. She must have still been pretty torn up about Dad passing away. Like I said before, she had a pretty soft spot for him. They were always looking out for each other. Thank goodness she's feeling more like her awful old self again. Isn't that great? She was about to kick her widow-over sister-in-law out of the home her late husband built for them.
See? This is what I'm talking about when I say she's a nasty old selfish hag.
Instead, you beat her to it. Imagine Mom's own daughter kicking her to the curb. Who would have thought? Her own flesh and blood.
That wasn't what I was doing. I was trying to help her, that's all. She was the one arguing with us and complaining the whole time. I just suggested that she go live somewhere else. It's not my fault she agreed to moving out.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. Just tell me what I should do. Didn't you tell Mom to transfer ownership to me?
You didn't get ownership of anything except Mom and Dad's debt to Aunt Linda, technically. You could always pay back that debt to her in cash. I'm sure she'll take the money and leave you guys alone then.
Do you think I have that much money just lying around?
Yeah, I guess you don't. Oh well. Guess you'll have to give her the house.
Emma, please, do something. She started demanding I pay rent and ordering me around like I'm some kind of housemaid. I don't know what to do. The house was supposed to be mine. Please help me.
See, Sammy, I distinctly remember telling you not to ask me for help if this scheme of yours blows up in your face. And that I don't want anything to do with the house. Why are you begging me for help now?
I know. I can't deal with her right now. Can't you just ask her to leave us alone until we can figure this out? You grew up in this house too, you know. You can't tell me you want Aunt Linda to just come in here and take it from us.
I haven't lived in that house for decades. I couldn't care less. And it rightfully belongs to Linda. I have no say in what she does. The only place I care about is where my real family, like Mom, is. And that would be where I am right now. So, I hope you and Aunt Linda get along.
Get along? Nobody can get along with this woman. How can you even say that? She bullied Mom when she was younger. She's a total nutcase. I'm gonna need a therapist if I have to stay here for one more minute.
Oh, don't be dramatic. I'm sure you two will get along just fine. You know, since you're both terrible people that want to throw their family out on the street.
She's a miserable old hag. Don't compare me to her. She just forces herself into everyone's business. She barely listens when you try to talk to her.
Sounds pretty familiar. Very much like someone I know. A sibling of mine who never works and is always standing there waiting for people to do things for her. She just wants to mess around all day without a care for other people around her. And then, when her money runs out, she tries to steal from her parents. She suddenly announces when she gets married without anyone knowing about her partner, then demands more money from her parents.
Listen here, I was struggling financially back then. It's the parents' job to support their child, isn't it?
What excuse do you have for trying to kick Mom out of her house? Just so you can sell it and travel abroad? You and Aunt Linda are the exact same kind of people in my mind. You can't do anything to change that.
We're not the same. How can you even think that?
I suppose maybe you're not exactly the same. She might have a problem with her attitude and personality, but she doesn't owe people money. She didn't treat her brother badly either, and she didn't try and kick her own mother out of her house. If anything, she seems like she might be slightly better than you.
Fine, whatever. Yeah, I'm a terrible person, okay? Just help me out a bit here. What am I supposed to do now?
Don't know, don't care.
Come on, sis. Please, I'm begging you.
Beg all you want. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
I can't believe you. Honestly, you're worse than Aunt Linda.
That's rich coming from you. Listen, Sam, I'm only going to say this one more time. I don't care. I'm not helping you. Don't ever talk to me again. Me and Mom have handed things off to Aunt Linda. She's your problem now. You two can sort this out amongst yourselves. Don't involve us.
But we don't have any money. Where are we supposed to go if she kicks us out?
Please read my previous messages because you're clearly not understanding the don't care part of what I just said.
Emma, please. You don't understand. Trevor's not been working at all since we moved. He hasn't even bothered to look for work, you see? Every time I ask him if he can look for work, he gets all sarcastic and stuff. We have no money to move out, even if we wanted to. If Linda kicks us out and you don't help us, we're gonna end up homeless. I'm still your sister, whether you like it or not. You have an obligation to help us.
If you or your trashy husband come anywhere near my family or my house, I'm going to call the cops on you, understand?
What? You wouldn't. On your own sister.
Sam, you two moved in there without Mom willingly agreeing. You kicked her out when you started arguing. And now that the consequences caught up with you, you want my help? Forget about it.
I'm sorry, okay? Please, Linda started throwing her stuff out. I'm begging. I've learned my lesson. I'll apologize to Mom. We'll get jobs. We'll earn our keep, I swear. We'll even pay for rent. Just let us stay at your place, please.
I'm not giving you a cent, even if you beg me. Don't come whining afterwards. Was that all you? Do you think I want to have someone like that living with me and Mom? Especially after what you did? Forget it, Sam. I won't help you, so stop begging me. I don't want your lazy, good-for-nothing husband here either. My husband and Mom both agree with me. We don't want you anywhere near us again. We don't consider you family anymore. Maybe Aunt Linda will let you and your husband do housekeeping and yard work or something. I'm sure she'll enjoy bossing you two around. After that, my sister and her husband had no other choice but to beg Aunt Linda to let them stay at her home. She reluctantly agreed, but in exchange for accommodation and food, they had to work for my aunt. Trevor couldn't take being treated like Aunt Linda's personal handyman and gardener, and ended up leaving, but only after it came out that he was cheating on Sam with the neighbor's 20-something-year-old daughter. Between being Aunt Linda's personal housemaid and sorting out the divorce with her husband, it seems Sam was really having a hard time with the consequences of what she did. That being said, me and my mom agreed that we won't give her any assistance whatsoever, no matter how miserable she gets or how many times she begs us to get her out of there. She has to learn from her mistakes and reflect on what she did to her own family. Meanwhile, my mom recently moved out of our place. She moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in a complex close to us, and she's agreed to let us pay for her rent for the time being. Although she's still grieving the loss of her husband, I think that she's a bit more relaxed since Aunt Linda moved her attention off of her onto my sister. I make an effort to see her every couple of days at her apartment now. We make dinner together and chat over a glass of wine while my husband looks over the kids for me. Occasionally, we'll all go out for dinner together with the kids. She's really enjoying bonding with them. With every memory we make together, I hope I can help her move on after losing her husband. One day, I hope she can look back and only remember the good times we had together and not be reminded about what a terrible thing my sister did to her. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content. Daniel, did Violet enjoy her food tonight?
She sure did. I just gave her a shower as well. I'm so exhausted. Is it me or is she becoming more energetic lately? I feel like I did a full workout just by spending time with her.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she was getting more energetic, actually. She's only gonna be bouncier the older she gets. It doesn't help that I don't really get to play with her as much since I became pregnant, so she probably thought she could play all day if it was with you.
She's way too bouncy for me to keep up with. I'll have to take her to the park sometime. Let her run all that energy off.
That might be a good idea. Hopefully you're not the one that's exhausted by the end of the day.
I hope so too.
I know it's tough taking care of her just by yourself. Not to mention you have work as well. I'm sorry I can't help out. I didn't think I'd end up in the hospital before the delivery.
Don't worry about it. Anything for my family. Besides, I can't even imagine what I would do if something were to happen to you or the baby. Speaking of which, you feeling better at least? What did the doctors say? Do you think you'll be able to come home?
It depends on the exam results. They said they'll have it ready for me by tomorrow. I do feel better, but I still feel dizzy from time to time. The doctor said it might be anemia. I'm sorry I have to leave Violet all to you.
You don't need to apologize. You're the one that's in the hospital. Just leave Violet to me. Don't stress out about it.
Thanks. But what should we do if I end up staying at the hospital longer? The delivery date is coming up soon, so I might end up staying until I deliver the baby. Will you be okay on your own until then?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. Sorry to sound so down, just as I told you not to worry, but it's really tough. Even today, I was the last dad to pick up Violet from kindergarten. I do feel bad not being there for her on time. I think I really need my parents to look after her.
But aren't they away on a trip this week? I thought they told us they were visiting a relative with Taylor. That's why they couldn't take Violet for us. They did say they won't be around until it's almost time for me to deliver our new baby.
Yeah, right. It just means I'll have to take care of Violet on my own for a while.
I wish I could ask my mom, but she hurt her ankle not too long ago. This would all be solved if I could leave the hospital.
Even if you could leave early, you really can't try to keep up with Violet when you're about to go into labor soon. Plus, you have to go back to the hospital anyways for delivery. I think it would be better if you just stayed until post-delivery.
That's true. I'm just worried about Violet, that's all. I could tell she was trying not to bother me too much since I became pregnant, but she's still a baby too, you know?
I'm sure she's just trying to act a little more responsible now that she's about to become a big sister.
She's only 5. It's way too early for her to think of being an older sibling and all that. I'm sure she misses me as well.
Don't forget I'm with her. I'll make sure she won't even notice that you're gone, even if I am exhausted by the end of the day. Don't worry too much about us. Just take care of yourself for now. Besides, you even had to go to the hospital earlier than expected. I think it's one of those times where your own health comes first before worrying about us.
If you say so. Sorry, I guess I was being too much of a worrywart. I'll tell you about the exam results tomorrow.
Yep, Got it. I love you. Oh, and I'll keep my parents updated on how you're doing as well.
Okay, thanks. Good night, and love you too. Give Violet a hug on my behalf.
Will do. Hey, how's work coming along?
Almost done for the day, I think. Well, almost done as in workload-wise. We still have to sit around for a little longer. Can we go for a drink together after?
Sorry, think I'll have to pass on that offer again.
Daniel, please. It's nice that you take me out somewhere nice during lunch, but we have to get back to work right after. I want us to spend some nice time together after work, you know? I want us to spend time without having anything on our minds.
I get what you mean, Ruby. I probably told you before I want to get off work and go home as soon as possible.
Like a broken record, yep.
But tell you what, do you think you can come to my place tonight?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, we can spend time together at my place. These days, going out for a date isn't the only thing couples do. Home dates aren't that uncommon.
I thought you'd never ask. So what time should I be over? If it's a home date, I don't mind cooking with you.
Let's see, how does around 8 sound?
That's quite late. I was hoping to cook a meal for you.
Well, we can have something light. After that, we'll watch a movie together or something.
Well, okay. If it means I can spend some time with you, it all sounds great.
It's settled then. I'll have everything ready. Don't worry about anything and just come over.
Okay, see you tonight.
Daniel, I just got a call from Taylor. She told me you just left your parents' house after you dropped Violet off. Did she mention anything while you were there?
She totally yelled my ears off today. Told me I should have mentioned it sooner that we needed them to take care of Violet since you ended up in the hospital early. My parents could have made the trip shorter if they knew, apparently. How about you? Did my sister say anything?
No, nothing unusual. She just wished me for me to get better and have a safe delivery. She also told me I shouldn't hesitate to ask for any help if I need it. She really is nice.
She's not so nice to her own brother, though. People would think you two are the sisters and I'm the in-law if they looked at how she treats me.
In any case, I'm really thankful for them. Before I forget, the hospital decided that I should stay until the delivery.
Yeah, I figured that might be the case.
I'm sure it was hectic for you to take care of Violet while working. I hope that's one thing you can take off your mind for a while.
Yeah, but you've been doing this way before you had to be in the hospital. All the while having a baby inside you. I'm sure I had it easier than you did. Mothers are really something, I tell you.
Even so, taking care of a child all by yourself is no joke. I don't know how single parents manage to do it. Nothing but respect for them.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about becoming one yourself. We'll be together forever.
Oh, I'm glad you think that's the case. But in the event you were to pass on before me, don't worry about me. I'll have no problem raising the kids on my own.
Where did that come from? Don't say something like that now.
I'm just kidding. Oh, right, remember the video call we had this morning?
Was it when I was making breakfast?
Yeah, Violet mentioned it was scary for her to go to bed.
She said something like that. What did she say?
She said she was scared since it was so dark and that Boogeyman was out to get her.
What? A boogeyman? Wonder where she got that from.
Perhaps she heard a scary story about it while she was at the kindergarten.
Well, it's nothing to worry about. We all heard those kinds of stories when we were young too, right?
Well, yeah. I remember hearing something similar when I was her age. Still, it worries me a little that she's too scared to go to bed.
I'm sure she'll get over it soon. To be fair, we all have. Besides, you have nothing to worry about. Violet goes to bed as usual. Not a single complaint or whining from her.
It's a bit of a relief to hear that. Still, she seems to be scared of going to bed lately. So please stay by her side until she falls asleep. Tell her a funny bedtime story or something to distract her from feeling scared.
Yep, I'll try. It'll have to be something that doesn't keep her awake, though.
Yeah, please do.
Not sure how much of a help it'll be, but I'll try to spend more time with her during the day as well. Did she tell you about the trip to the park? I think she did mention it to you since I overheard her being excited.
Yes, she did. She told me you bought her all kinds of new toys to play with while there.
I sure did. Honestly, it takes so little to make kids her age so happy. Didn't think she'd like something like frisbees and jump ropes that much. I'll send you the videos and the photos I took.
That sounds wonderful.
I'm sure it'll make you smile the moment you see them. I'll definitely have to take her there this weekend when I visit my parents' place. It'll be like a little picnic as well for the two of us. Hope I'm not making you jealous.
Of course not. I wish you two a fun time. Hopefully it takes that boogeyman story off of Violet's mind.
Yep, I'll do everything I can to have Violet just focus on the fun things.
And how's work treating you?
Why do you ask?
You always had to work overtime. I could count the times you were actually home for dinner. Are they okay with you leaving so early now?
Oh, it's nothing you have to worry about. I'm not working at some sweatshop where they won't let me go home when my wife is in the hospital. Plus, they can't force me to stay. I'll just simply leave. I have to take care of Violet.
Well, I suppose that's true. I guess I should thank your boss after I deliver the baby. Maybe I'll bake some cookies for you to take.
You don't need to do that. Forget me, let's talk about the new baby. We still need to decide on his name, don't we? There's less than a week left before the delivery, right?
Oh yeah, time sure flew by. I do have some in mind, but they all just won't stick with me. How about you? Any names that caught your eye?
I'm still thinking as well. I want to name him something cool since he's a boy after all.
Something easy to call and nothing too crazy, please? Remember how I had to stop you from naming your daughter something really weird and settle for Violet?
Honestly, with how parents name their kids these days, I don't see how that wouldn't have worked. Don't worry, I've taken your feedback and gave some thought about it. It'll be something cool as well as ordinary this time. Nothing crazy.
I hope you stick to those words.
Well, I'll call you for a video call later this evening.
Got it. Love you.
Have a nice day, my love.
Audrey, I'm sorry to bother you so late. Are you still up? Hi, Taylor. What is it? I didn't wake you up, did I? I hope you're feeling okay. Don't worry. I was up because I couldn't sleep. And I'm feeling fine, thank you. Oh, did you text me because of Violet? Is everything okay? Yes, there was something I had to ask. You are aware we've been taking care of her since yesterday, right? Yes, and I'm really grateful to you for taking her in. We don't mind at all. Violet's such a good girl. Mom and I are both happy to have her with us. But there's something bothering me ever since she came here. You can just tell me what's happening with Violet. Audrey, I don't mean to offend you, but just how are you raising Violet? What do you mean? Your daughter's trying to sleep in the closet. She said she can't come out until the morning comes. Just what are you teaching her? I realize every family has their own way of raising their child, but don't you think it's a little overboard to have her sleep inside a closet? Some people might consider that as neglect or abuse. I have no idea what you're talking about. She's trying to sleep in a closet? Be honest with me. She was terrified of sleeping on the bed instead of inside of a closet. Don't you think it's ridiculous? Taylor, I'm serious. I have no idea what you're talking about. I never made her sleep inside a closet. Then how do you explain her trying to sleep inside a closet ever since coming here? I have no clue as to why she would do that. Oh, I do recall Violet mentioning how she was scared of going to sleep. She said something about a boogeyman. I thought it's something she might have heard while she was in kindergarten. A boogeyman? Oh, yeah, now that you mention it. I think I heard her saying something about hiding from the boogeyman until it's morning. I thought it was weird too and asked Daniel about it, but he told me everything was okay. Let me just confirm one last time. You never forced Violet to sleep in a closet, right? Yes, I would never do anything like that. I just figured Violet just needed extra comfort before going to bed lately.
I couldn't even imagine she would try to sleep in a closet.
Sorry if I sounded like I doubted you, but seeing Violet like that, I just had to find out if there was a problem at home.
Yes, I understand the concern, but I really have no idea where this closet and boogeyman thing came from. Violet has never said anything about that before I was admitted to the hospital. Plus, I always made sure she fell asleep soundly before leaving her room.
That leads me to believe she's been sleeping inside a closet after you left. Daniel could be the one that's done something while you were gone.
I don't know anything for certain, but that could be the case. Did you try asking Daniel?
I did, but he didn't answer. That's why I tried contacting you instead.
I see. Can we try keeping our conversation a secret from Daniel? Could you say it was for something else when he replies?
Sure, no problem.
I really don't want to doubt Daniel of doing something, but seeing how Violet's been acting weird lately, I need to be certain of what's going on.
I agree. We need to find out what really happened. I'm sorry to bother you about something like this when you're expected to deliver a baby soon.
No, not at all. I'd rather know what's going on than being kept in the dark. Also, there's something I'd like to ask for your help, since I can't do much while being in a hospital.
Just say the word. I'll do whatever I can that's within my limits. Are you sure you'll be okay, though, in case we find out Daniel's been hiding something from us? I know it's weird coming from me when I contacted you at a time like this, but some news isn't meant for a mother going into labor soon.
It's for my daughter. I'm willing to go through anything. Besides, this might concern the future of my child that's about to be born as well. I need to know the truth.
Okay, you've convinced me. Just know we're all on your side. You're not alone, and you can depend on us if you need help. Audrey, it's Taylor. Is it okay for you to text right now?
Yes, what is it?
I'm sorry to tell you that your suspicion was right. Well, you heard Violet this morning, right? Daniel was the one who planted the boogeyman story on her.
Yes, I really didn't want to doubt him of doing something like that, but at least I know what caused Violet to have sleepless nights.
Well, on a positive note, I've managed to convince her that it's okay to sleep on the bed.
Yes, I really appreciate you doing that for me.
Well, it probably worked since it was her own mother also convincing her that there's nothing to worry about. It was all your doing, if anything. I was just there for support.
No, you've been a huge help, Taylor. I can't thank you enough for everything.
As much as I'd like to end the conversation on a positive note, there's something else I have to tell you, unfortunately. The investigators got back to me, but is it really okay for me to tell you this right now?
It's okay. I can handle it.
I wanted us all to be in a festive mood for your new child. But I must break it to you that Daniel cheated on you. Are you okay?
Yes, don't worry about me, and I think the baby's fine too.
I'm sorry.
You're not the one who should be apologizing. I'm more upset at him for telling Violet such a ridiculous story than him cheating on me.
I already received the proof from the investigators, but I wasn't sure if I should send them to you now.
No, please do. I am okay and I need to see the truth with my own eyes. But Taylor, could you keep all this hidden from Daniel?
What do you mean?
I want to be the one to confront him about all this. I need to hear what he has to say.
Okay, I guess you really are a strong person. Just know that my parents and I are on your side. For the record, they are very upset at Daniel as well. They didn't think their own son would do something like this.
I can understand how upset they are.
Oh, but we're probably gonna run into him on the day you deliver the baby. Do you want us to act like we don't know anything?
Yes, that would be great if you can. He has no idea what's coming for him.
Okay, we'll be there for you. Let us know if you want us to bring you anything before we visit.
Sure, thank you so much.
Audrey, I'll come visit you tomorrow. We need to have our baby registered and I got the papers ready. Tell me if you need anything else.
I already did.
Wait, what? You mean you decided on his name too?
Yeah.
How could you? I was bursting out my brain for a cool name. And you even went and registered him without even telling me? Don't you think that's harsh? It's something we should decide together as parents.
Really? I think I just did the obvious.
How could you say that without consulting your husband? You know, you've been acting so cold toward me lately. We just had our second baby and you're acting like that already? I get delivering a baby is no easy job. I heard it messes with your hormones and all that.
That could be part of the reason.
Even so, you don't need to act so mean toward me. You greeted me like I was some kind of trash when I visited you on the day of the delivery. You seem to be fine with my family seeing you, though. I would like to think I did a good job while you were in the hospital, taking care of Violet all by myself and everything. But all you gave me was the cold shoulder.
Enough of this, Daniel. Don't you realize what you've done while you were taking care of Violet?
What the heck do you mean?
Don't play dumb with me. I know you brought a woman to her house while I was gone.
Where's this coming from? I wouldn't do such a thing. How could I even think about cheating on you when you're delivering my baby?
Ruby? Does that name ring any bells?
She's just a coworker. There's nothing between us.
Really now? Since when did you invite your coworkers to her house?
Did Violet say something?
No.
Then I'm lost as to why you're so suspicious of me like this.
Our neighbor, Terry, he has a security camera. And in the footage, you two were entering her house.
Wait, seriously?
And what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
So you admit to cheating?
But here's the thing, it's not that I was cheating or anything. I only had her come to cook for us.
Really now? So late at night? While Violet was asleep?
Well, think about it. It's not like you're around. I'm sure Violet would be upset to see a woman she's never seen before come into the house. I was being considerate and had her come to help while Violet was asleep. I swear, I didn't invite her with any ulterior motives.
That doesn't give you a reason to make Violet sleep inside a closet. You told her she needs to hide from the boogeyman and don't come out until it's morning? How did you come up with that one?
I did not say that.
Violet told me that's what you said.
Please, Audrey, Violet's only 5 years old. How could you take her word for it? She could have dreamt about it for all I know.
Maybe so, but I'm on Violet's side. The reason why you shoved her into a closet in the first place is because you didn't want Violet to see that Ruby girl.
I'm telling you, it's all a misunderstanding.
Well, whatever the case is, I'm divorcing you when I get out of the hospital. I'll find a lawyer to talk with you about all this. Plus, don't even think about showing up to the hospital.
Hold on. What do you mean you're divorcing me? Do you have any proof that I'm cheating on you? Audrey, calm down and think for a moment.
How could I calm down?
Okay, so you saw me bringing a coworker to her house, but that doesn't prove that I cheated on you or that I forced Violet to sleep inside a closet.
I may not have solid proof of you making Violet sleep inside a closet, but I do have proof of you cheating.
What's the proof you're talking about?
I asked Taylor for help since she mentioned how Violet was acting strangely. So we hired an investigator. They installed a camera in her house without you knowing. And there was plenty of footage that could be used as proof of you cheating on me. You even had her come to her house after you sent off Violet to Taylor to take care of.
I'm sorry.
You think your words mean anything to me at this point?
Audrey, listen. I just don't know what's gotten into me.
Yeah, of course. I don't think anyone in their right mind would invite a woman to their house while having a pregnant spouse in the hospital. Plus, what kind of father are you, making your daughter sleep inside a closet?
I'm really sorry. I swear I don't know what's gotten into me.
Whatever comes out of your mouth is meaningless to me. How could you even come up with such a terrible story for Violet? Telling her a boogeyman will get her if she doesn't hide in the closet until morning comes? You really are the worst. If you wanted to cheat, you could have done it somewhere we wouldn't even know.
I couldn't leave Violet to be home by herself.
And you couldn't even wait a few days? You knew Violet was going to be gone to your parents' house. Would it have killed you to have some restraint? You didn't have to shove my daughter into a closet with a ridiculous story for her to believe in.
Please, listen, Audrey. You're the only one I really love. I really want to stay by your side. I didn't really cheat on you. This is just a one-time thing that I just lost control over.
I'm more angry about the fact that you trapped my daughter in a closet than that you're having an affair with another woman. You have no right to see my children ever again.
Think about it. You just had a baby delivered on top of Violet. How will you take care of them by yourself?
Sure, I'll be by myself in terms of not having a husband with me. But your parents, as well as Taylor, said they'll do whatever they can to help me raise them. Don't forget about my mom either. So I'm okay. Everyone will help me raise the two of them. Besides, even if I didn't receive any help, I was gonna divorce you anyways.
Audrey, please. Being a single mother isn't an easy job. You even said it yourself.
Sure, it won't be easy. But it's much better than living with someone that brings a woman they're cheating on me with to her house without any hesitation.
Audrey, please. I've only cheated on you once.
Just once? Oh, you mean you were planning to cheat on me with more than just one girl?
I won't cheat on you ever again. I swear on my life I won't. So please reconsider this whole thing about divorce. I really was looking forward to raising our son. Plus, I want to be with Violet as she grows up.
Don't you realize you're the one who ruined it all? None of this would have happened if you didn't cheat on me.
I am aware, and I am painfully regretting it right now. I really will think of my family above all else from now on. I won't ever betray you again.
We're getting divorced because I don't want to be betrayed by you ever again. We're getting divorced because I don't want you to harm my children ever again.
What did I do to harm them? I never hit Violet once in all these years.
I can't believe you. Do you even know what emotional scars are? Violet may not know anything about the girl you had an affair with. However, you locked her up inside a closet for multiple nights.
I didn't force her to, I convinced her to.
But you still left her feeling scared. Things like that could stay with her for the rest of her life. How could you say it wouldn't leave trauma on her? Did you think about that? And don't even get me started on the fact that you tried to convince me by saying not to take words of a 5-year-old so seriously when I have proof of you cheating on me. I seriously can't believe you. Don't you dare consider yourself as my children's father.
I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. Give me another chance. I'll do better. Please believe me.
It doesn't matter what you say at this point. I am not raising my children with you. You still don't seem to realize you have destroyed all trust I had in you. Trust isn't something you can rebuild so easily. Your empty words don't mean anything now. I don't need someone that betrays me and hurts my children. Your words are meaningless to me, you liar. After I was discharged from the hospital, I divorced Daniel without any issues. It really was tough going through all this right after I gave birth, but Taylor and her parents really helped me out. Things were settled pretty quickly that Daniel had to pay me child support and alimony. His girlfriend went to my ex-husband demanding that he marry her since things have turned out this way. But apparently Daniel rejected her. So she decided to let the whole company know that Daniel cheated on his wife with her and then quit. It's possible Ruby was serious about becoming a married couple with him. I couldn't care less about what they do since they're paying me child support, but I guess Daniel wasn't too much of a shock to go out with someone again. Though he has been branded as a man who cheats on his wife, Daniel still grinds at his job. He has to pay me after all. I hope he finally learned his lesson. As for me, having a newborn to take care of as well as Violet is really exhausting. Still, I also have help from Taylor and her parents, so I think I can manage. I plan on looking for a job once my son turns 1 year old. I'll be careful not to collapse while I raise my children, asking for help when I need it. But that doesn't mean I plan on slacking. I'll do the things that I can do on my own. Also, I plan on giving my children lots of love so they don't feel they need to have a father. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share the video with your friends, and get notified of more content like this by subscribing to the channel.
Help! Help me, Chuck. You have to help me. Sandra locked me out and I'm trapped on the balcony. I can't get in the house. She won't let me back in.
Oh, it's the balcony this time. She's getting more creative lately. Last time you were locked in the bathroom for 3 hours. That was a hoot.
Don't laugh. This isn't funny. This is a serious situation. It's really cold today, and I didn't put a coat on to come out here, so I'm freezing, and it's only getting colder.
You must have upset her again. What did you do this time? Did you burn dinner or something?
Nothing. Well, nothing important anyway. All I did was cook dinner, and it wasn't burning. I was just slow cooking the pot roast the way I always do, and she freaked out. She went completely ballistic on me.
Oh, that's your fault then.
I explained to her and even asked her to help if she didn't like the way I was doing it, but she still won't open the door and let me in. It's been an hour now, and I'm so cold out here. Please call her for me or something. I can't stay out here much longer.
No way. I don't want to talk to her when she's in a bad mood. That's never, ever a good idea.
Then at least come home right now and let me in. Otherwise, I'm stuck out here.
No can do, babe. I'm about to go out for drinks with my boss and some other people from work.
I know it's a hassle, but I'm in trouble here. Please come and rescue me.
Hey, if you're locked out on the veranda, you should probably just sleep there.
Oh, come on. That's not an option at all. How can you say that? Do you even know what the temperature is tonight? It's 39 degrees right now, and it's only going to get colder.
Then just ask her to let you in. She's there, right? Just get on your knees and beg for her forgiveness, like you did last time.
I tapped on the window, and she just got mad at me and told me to stop making so much noise. Then she shut the curtains, and now I can't even see what's going on inside. There is just no reasoning with this woman.
Maybe she's feasting on that pot roast.
No, I don't think so. I bet she just threw it in the trash. That's what she said she was going to do anyway.
Yep, that sounds like her. She always goes to the extreme. That's my mom. Gotta love her.
I'm at the end of my rope here. I can't take this much longer. There's just no pleasing her. Why is she so cold-hearted?
Hey, don't you go talking that attitude about my mother. Would you talk that way about your own mother? How many times have I told you, you are to treat her like she's your own mother? She's even more important than your own mother, in fact.
And that's exactly what I've been doing. I show her nothing but respect, but there's only so much of this abuse that I can take, and I'm reaching my limit with all this craziness.
She's trying to whip you into shape and make sure you're a good wife. That's how much she loves me. You should be grateful for her guidance, so follow her advice and improve where you need to improve.
So what, I should just keep my mouth shut and continue to take this abuse? I mean, I'm literally shivering out here. This is a serious situation, Chuck.
Look, people have been stranded on Mount Everest for days without food, and they still managed to get home safely in one piece. You're not gonna drop dead from being cold for a little while.
Oh, come on! That comparison makes no sense at all. Please, help me. The temperature is going to drop to freezing tonight. The weatherman was just saying that on the news today. What am I supposed to do if your mom decides to just leave me out here all night? Again, I am not wearing a coat or anything.
Then I guess you just have to be out there all night and keep yourself warm somehow.
Are you seriously telling me to stay out here on this balcony all night in the freezing cold because your mom doesn't like the way I make pot roast?
I guess that's pretty much the size of it. But I know you can do it. I have faith in you.
I can't believe you're making jokes about this. Please, take this seriously. My fingers are getting numb now.
Look, this is a very important business function that I have to go to tonight, so there's nothing I can do for you. You'll just have to suck it up and figure something out.
You cannot possibly be serious. Your wife is locked out on the balcony with no coat in freezing temperatures, and you're going to just leave her out there and go drinking? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're doing?
Don't worry, I'll be thinking of you and sending you good energy as I'm drinking my Johnny Walker.
Oh, forget about it. I can't even... I should have known better than to ask you for any help. That's the last time I make that mistake.
Hey, I'll be home after we're done drinking, so just hang in there until then.
You're unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Okay, I'm headed out now. Gotta go.
You're really not coming to help me, are you?
My colleagues are waiting for me. Talk to you later.
I waited 3 hours for her mood to improve and to be let back in the house. Fortunately, I had forgotten to put away the bed sheets that I had hung out to dry earlier that day, so I wrapped myself up in them and was able to keep warm enough to at least think clearly. My name is Taylor. I'm 32 years old, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, although we have no children yet. Chuck and I got married 3 years ago. Chuck's mother, Eunice, wasn't living with us at first. When his father passed away, Chuck unilaterally decided that she should come and live with us because he didn't want her to be alone. That was about a year ago. Eunice is an unhappy person, and she has a very short fuse. If she doesn't like the food I cook or the way I cook it, she has no problem at all with just throwing it in the garbage. She also has no problem with intentionally making messes for me to clean up. One day it's a nasty mess in the bathroom, the next day it'll be something in the kitchen or the living room. She's very brazen about it, and it's very clear why she does it. I really feel like I had reached the end of my rope with the whole situation, but I wanted to keep trying to make it work. This was because my own mother was so happy that I had finally found a husband, and I didn't want to let her down. But this time was a bridge too far for me. My husband was supposed to be a lifeline for me, but he was perfectly fine just leaving me out here in the cold. And I finally realized that I couldn't count on him. I couldn't take it anymore and decided that I had to do something. Anything, or I would freeze out there.
Hey, Mom, are you messing with Taylor again? You're just relentless.
Oh, did that girl go crying to you again? Of course she did.
She's telling me that she's cold out there and she wants me to come home and let her in.
What a crybaby. It's always about her, isn't it? You need to get rid of her. Just divorce her already.
She told me that you threw her pot roast in the garbage. Did you?
Oh, that girl knows that I hate the seasoning she uses. She knows how I like it, but she still does it her way, and then she tells me that she made it that way for me. What am I supposed to say to that? It's just unbelievable. She obviously thinks I'm stupid or senile or something.
Yeah, your recipe for pot roast definitely can't be beat. I don't know why she just can't make it that way. So, how long have you had her locked out there now?
Oh, it's only been about an hour or so now. It's definitely way too early for her to be whining about being cold.
Wow, that is harsh, but fair, I'm sure. Well, I guess I just have to leave her out there for a while and teach her a lesson then.
What time are you coming home tonight anyway, my baby boy?
I'm having drinks with the guys tonight, so I'll be late getting back.
Oh, that's good, because I threw the pot roast out and there's nothing in the fridge. I was worried about what you would have for dinner, and I didn't want to have to let her back in just to get something on the table for you.
No worries, I'll have a good dinner out somewhere tonight, so you don't need to make me anything.
Now that you mention it, I'm hungry too. I should have eaten by now, but thanks to that stupid wife of yours, all we have to eat around here is canned stuff or cold cuts. Ugh.
Well, if you're still up when I come home, I could bring you back some good takeout if you want.
I'll probably be in bed by then, so don't worry about it, sweetheart. Oh, you're so good to me, Chucky. Always such a good boy. I love you to pieces. That wife of yours could learn a thing or two from you, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, I'm just taking care of my mom. That's what good boys do.
You and I would be just doing great without her around, you know. I wonder if she might freeze out there tonight, and then we could be rid of her once and for all.
Whoa, don't talk like that, Mom. We need her. Just think of her as a free housekeeping service, and you'll find the motivation to keep her around.
Yeah, I guess. I'll just keep working her hard and get what I can out of her. She's dumb, but at least she knows how to clean.
Okay then, just be sure to let her out once you're ready to, and don't leave her out there all night, okay? We don't need the police coming around now, do we?
Yeah, you're right. No cops, please. I definitely don't want to end up in jail.
Alright, I have to go. Talk to you later, Mom.
Okay, don't drink too much. Love you.
Don't worry, I won't.
Are you still out drinking?
What do you want? Leave me alone, woman. I am out with the boys at this strip club, and it is really happening.
You need to come home right now.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Your mom is dead.
Huh? What are you saying?
I'll tell you what happened later. I'm still at the hospital right now.
You're supposed to still be out on the balcony.
Oh, am I? Well, I'm not anymore. I got back in the house.
What? How?
I'll tell you about all that later.
Tell me now, I need to know.
Aren't you worried at all about your mom?
No, because you're lying to me. Man, you must really want me to come home badly to resort to telling me a nasty lie like that.
Fine. I'll lay it out for you.
Mom finally let you in, didn't she?
Wrong! No matter how I begged, pleaded, or apologized, she wouldn't let me back in the house. I was seriously afraid that I would freeze out there, so I called both the police and the condo property manager.
You what? Oh, stop being such a drama queen already. Mom isn't some monster or something. She was gonna let you back in sooner or later.
I was out there for 4 hours. She closed the curtains and I couldn't see a thing inside. I had no idea if she'd just gone to bed or if she was even there. All I knew was that there was no way I could stay out there all night.
So, you called the cops and property manager? What a nuisance you are. I hope you're proud of yourself.
When the police got there, they knocked on her bedroom door and asked her to come out so they could ask her a few questions. But they got no response.
And?
Then we got worried and checked the bathroom. She was lying on the floor in there, unconscious.
Oh, you better not be lying to me about this.
I am not. It's all 100% true.
But she's okay now, right? Right?
No. I just told you. She's gone, Chuck.
What? I can't even.
There are no signs of foul play, so they're seeing that it was probably natural causes. She did have high blood pressure, you know.
No, this has got to be a joke. I don't believe it. It's all lies.
I'm sorry to be the one to break the news to you.
You're happy about this? I know you are.
Huh?
You're ecstatic that the horrible mother-in-law is gone for good, aren't you? Just admit it.
What are you talking about? That's not true at all. I mean, yeah, she treated me badly a lot, but I never wished something like this on her or on you.
This is all your fault. Your hatred for her caused this. You know it and I know it.
Whoa! Hey! I get that you're upset, and if you want to lay the blame on me because it makes you feel better, so be it. But you need to come home right now, Chuck.
No, that's not happening. We just paid for more.
Paid for more? For more what? Drinks? Then cancel the order!
No, we just paid for more lap dances and the girls are already here in the VIP room with us. If we cancel, we can't get our money back.
How ridiculous and selfish can you possibly be at a time like this?
Oh, shut up. I am not wasting all that money. And besides, the autopsy won't be until tomorrow anyway. There's nothing at all I can do at this point.
You don't even want to say your goodbyes to her?
I can do that tomorrow.
Wow, that's just unbelievable. I never thought I'd say this in my lifetime, but I feel bad for Sandra.
Anyway, just take care of whatever needs to be done and I'll be home later. And another thing, I can't handle funerals and all that hassle.
You're her son, and you're supposed to be in charge of it.
Look, we're wasting time here and time is money, literally. Talk to you later.
Someone needs to make arrangements with the funeral home, too. You need to get back here. Chuck? Chuck?
Alright then, the mourning period is officially over now. It's time to get myself to the strip club. It has been way too long.
Do what you want.
But first, what is for dinner tonight?
Nothing. I haven't cooked anything for tonight.
Perfect, I want to go out with the boys anyways.
And I won't be cooking anything at all anymore. Ever.
Hey now, a housewife who doesn't take care of the house is just a parasite, you know?
I'm leaving, so you won't have any parasite to worry about.
Huh?
Your mother has been gone for 2 months now. I've been watching you and how you've been talking and acting since then, and I can't believe that you're even human, to tell you the truth.
And what's that supposed to mean? Of course I'm human. I'm just a very highly evolved type of human.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Let's start with your behavior at the funeral. You were the chief mourner, and yet you showed up drunk, and you were unruly throughout the whole thing. Have you no shame or sense of decency?
Hey, I was just being upbeat and trying to lift people's spirits.
And then there's the matter of the inheritance.
Yeah, what about it?
As soon as you found out that she had no money to leave you, you insulted her out loud and took her photo off the wall.
So what? That was a lousy photo anyway, and I needed space on the wall for other stuff.
And let's not forget the whole balcony incident. I have zero desire to spend the rest of my days with a man who wouldn't pull himself away from his whiskey and strippers to come home and help me out of that life-threatening situation.
Oh, come on, that was no big deal. Every wife has to put up with some of that every now and then.
And I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but you and that woman are 2 peas in a pod.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that you both have zero compassion or gratitude for others. You both use people and treat them like they're expendable, and you have no shame or guilt about it.
You're the only one I use. At work, my reputation is golden.
No, I seriously doubt that. Your humanity, or lack of it, will always come out at your workplace sooner or later. At some point, the mask always slips.
Yeah, because a housewife like you totally knows what goes on at the office.
Hey, I used to work at a company just like you do.
So what? What do you think you're gonna do if you just leave me? What about my meals, my laundry? What about the housework?
I guess you'll just have to figure that all out on your own.
Ugh, fine. So when can I expect you back?
I am not coming back. You and I are finished. I want a divorce.
Divorce? That's not happening. I won't agree to that, never.
Have it your way. If you won't divorce me, I'll get a lawyer and you can talk to them.
If you think I'm gonna waste my time doing that, you have got another thing coming.
Then sign the papers. I have them ready and waiting for you right here and now.
Fat chance. You're my wife and you'll stay my wife until I decide I don't want you anymore, not the other way around.
Get a clue and show me some respect, you moron.
Who do you think you're talking to with that mouth?
I know exactly who I'm talking to, and he's a lying, cheating scumbag.
Huh? What did you say?
You heard me. So tell me about the $700 that mysteriously disappears from your bank account every month. That's right. Did you think that I didn't notice that? You really must be making a ton of cash to be able to pay your trashy girlfriend's rent, big spender.
how did you...
Yeah, apartment 203 at the Hideaway Village. Nice, very nice.
You can't be.
You left a trail that was easy to follow, Chuck. I guess now I know why you do so much overtime.
Fine, you found out. Good for you. Then you also should know why I did it. It's because you're a sorry excuse for a wife and a woman.
Oh, I see. So that's your excuse for being a liar and a cheater? That's so you. It really, really is.
Wanting to play around with young, beautiful girls is perfectly normal. I'm a man and I have needs.
Oh, is that right? Now you can do it to your heart's content and you don't have to worry about sneaking it around anymore. You're welcome.
I've been paying her rent with all the money that I've been saving by having you make my lunches and do all the bargain hunting that you do when you go shopping. What am I supposed to do now?
Wow, what a revelation. You just dumped your purse out all over me with that confession.
Look, my salary pays for your lifestyle and you're not lacking anything, are you? No, nothing at all.
It's just like you said, Chuck. The money you give me goes as far as it does because I spend all day, every day, trying to make it do that. You're seriously misinformed if you think I'm out shopping for myself all the time. In fact, I've hardly ever bought a single thing for myself since your mother moved in with us. If only I'd known about the thousands of dollars you were giving your side piece, thanks to my penny pinching.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the role you were born to play, woman. It suits you.
It suits me? Being needlessly poor and never able to get things that you want doesn't suit me any more than it suits anybody.
Oh, you're stupid if you think that you can just divorce me and get along on your own.
Well, my old boss has already told me that she'll hire me back anytime I feel like going back to work, and all I have to do is say the word, so...
You're not company material anymore. Stick to housework. It's where you belong.
Nope, that era is officially over. I'll take my divorce settlement money from you and turn the page, thank you very much.
You're nuts if you think I'm paying you a single cent.
Am I, though? The statute of limitations for this stuff is 3 years. I suggest you prepare yourself for the litigation that's headed your way. Attorney's fees are not cheap. You better financially actually start doing that overtime at work because you're going to need the money. Because I promise you, you aren't getting out of this one, and Mommy's not here to help you anymore.
I don't believe it. You're not that tough.
After seeing your true colors, I stopped lying to myself about who and what you are. That's all.
Oh, just come back to me, cook and clean for me, and all is forgiven.
Let me give you a piece of advice. Talking down to people and ordering them around without a hint of sincerity or good faith doesn't work. I suppose I could have told you that a long time ago, but I doubt you would have listened.
I'll dump the other woman, I swear. Just come back to me. Oh, don't leave, please.
I told you, it's too late for any of that.
What do you mean? Accept my apology already.
No, it doesn't work that way, Chuck. Listen, I'll be happy if you turn over a new leaf, become a better man, and live happily ever after yourself. I sincerely hope that you'll try to do that. So goodbye and good luck.
What does that even mean? What are you talking about? You owe me an explanation.
Not long after that, the divorce arbitration proceeded, with Chuck being his usual argumentative self and making the whole process unnecessarily difficult. He even made a point of repeatedly insisting that my wife is a housewife, period, to the point that the arbitrator clearly sided with me and therefore ruled in my favor and moved the paperwork through for us. I ended up getting over $30,000 in settlement money from Chuck. What with his infidelity being a matter of record and all, and I'm told that his financial collapse led also to the collapse of his relationship with the girl in room 203, as I like to call her. It turns out that she was a coworker of his at his company, and that once the rumors about them and his divorce started flying, neither of them could take the heat and they both left the company. Not surprisingly, Chuck had no savings, so he was forced to take on debt in order to pay me my settlement. And now he's working a low-paying job and barely getting by. His debt and living expenses eating up all of his income. The 1-year anniversary of his mother's death is coming up soon. Sometimes I think of her and how she treated me, and I wonder whether she made it to heaven or if she ended up in the other place. I have a feeling that I know the answer to that question. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.